Have you ever been struck by a memory so vivid you saw it was true only to find no one else remembers it happening? You could have sworn you saw Elvis Presley in person or shook hands with Abraham Lincoln. But when you bring up these memories with others, they look at you like you're crazy. Maybe you're just misremembering, right? Well, not exactly. In fact, scientists believe these strange memory lapses could be proof of a terrifying phenomenon, where our universe is constantly merging with other universes from different times. This may sound far-fetched, but researchers say that the evidence for the multiverse theory has never been stronger. If you want to learn more about this controversial topic, stay tuned until the end of this episode. We'll tell you everything you need to know about the Mandela Effect, and show you why experts believe it could mean that there are infinite versions of ourselves living in an endless array of parallel worlds. Let's get started. The Mandela Effect is a bizarre phenomenon where a large group of people all share the same false memory of an event, brand, or piece of media. The term was coined in 2009 by Fiona Broome, who noticed that many people, including herself, remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the late 1980s, when in reality he was released in 1990 and lived until 2013. Since then, thousands of people have come forward with their own stories of false memories, leading some to believe that we may be living in a parallel universe where alternate timelines are constantly shifting and merging. One of the most famous examples of the Mandela Effect is the misremembering of the Berenstain Bears, a children's book series that was always spelled Bernstein. For some reason, though, many people insist that they remember it being spelled Bernstein, even though there is no evidence that the spelling was ever changed. Similarly, countless people claim to remember the Monopoly man's name being Rich Uncle Penny, even though it has always been simply Mr. Monopoly. And many people also vividly recall the Oscar Mayer logo having a smiley face on it, despite the fact that it has never had one. At first glance, it might seem like these are just harmless instances of misremembering, but when you start to realize how many people are affected by these false memories, it becomes clear that something strange is going on. Could these memories be glimpses into parallel universes where the spelling of the Berenstain Bears was changed? Rich Uncle Pennybags was the Monopoly man, and Oscar Mayer had a smiley face on it. While this may sound crazy, there is actually some scientific evidence to suggest that it could be possible. In 2015, Dr. Robert Lanza, a stem cell scientist and professor at the Franklin Pierce University School of Medicine, proposed a radical theory to explain the Mandela Effect. His hypothesis was that these false memories are actually real memories of events that happened in parallel universes, which occasionally overlap with our own. According to Dr. Lanza, there are infinite versions of ourselves living in infinite parallel universes. In some of these universes, the Berlin Wall was never torn down, and in others, dinosaurs never went extinct. Every time our universe overlaps with one of these parallel universes, we absorb the memories of our While this theory is highly speculative, Dr. Lanza believes that it could help explain some of the gaps in our collective memory. For example, many people remember the Challenger space shuttle blowing up on live TV in the 1980s, even though it wasn't until 1986 that the shuttle exploded, killing all 7 crew members. It is possible that this false memory is the result of our universe, briefly overlapping with a parallel universe where the accident occurred earlier. Another intriguing explanation for the Mandela Effect was put forward by Dr. Richard C. Hoagland, an American astrophysicist and author. He suggests that these false memories are actually fragments of knowledge that we absorbed subconsciously from other people. For example, if you spent a lot of time playing Monopoly with your family, you may have subconsciously absorbed the name of the game's character, Rich Uncle Pennybags. When we recall these memories, we may mistake them for our own original thoughts, even though they were actually implanted in us by someone else. However, there is another, darker explanation for the Mandela Effect that has been gaining popularity in recent years. Some believe that these false memories are actually implanted by government agencies, such as the CIA or NSA, as part of a secret mind control program. The idea is that these agencies use advanced technology to implant false memories into the minds of unsuspecting citizens, creating a population of sleeper agents who can be activated at a moment's notice. While this theory is highly conspiratorial, it has been fueled by a number of high-profile cases of alleged government mind control. One of the most famous examples is the case of MK-Ultra, a top-secret CIA project that was conducted in the 1950s and 60s. The project involved experimenting on unwitting subjects, testing various drugs and techniques to determine their effectiveness in controlling the human mind. While the CIA officially ended the MK-Ultra project in 1973, many believe that it is still being carried out in secret today. But perhaps the most disturbing possibility is that the Mandela Effect is simply a sign that our brains are malfunctioning. According to Dr. John Sharp, a psychiatrist and author of The New Science of Memory, these false memories may arise from a neurological disorder known as This condition causes people to fill in gaps in their memory with fabricated details, often without realizing that they are doing so. While confabulation is usually associated with individuals suffering from dementia or other serious brain disorders, Dr. Sharp suggests that it could also affect anyone. Ultimately, the Mandela Effect remains a mysterious and controversial phenomenon that has captured the imaginations of many. While there is no definitive explanation for these strange memory lapses, one thing is clear. The idea that we may be living in a parallel universe where timelines are constantly shifting and merging is a fascinating one. Whether or not you believe in the multiverse theory, the Mandela Effect serves as a reminder that there is still so much that we do know about the world around us and the deepest recesses of our own minds. Now, let's move on to the next point. Have you ever experienced the Mandela Effect? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. As we continue to explore the depths of the Mandela Effect, it's important to remember that while these false memories may seem jarring and confusing, they are ultimately harmless. The Mandela Effect should not be confused with other cognitive phenomena such as déjà vu or the false memory syndrome, which can sometimes be indicative of underlying mental health issues. In general, the Mandela Effect is a fascinating but ultimately benign aspect of human memory and perception. That being said, there are some instances of the Mandela Effect that have left scientists scratching their heads. One of the most perplexing examples is the misremembering of the Disney movie The Lion King. Many people vividly recall a scene in the film where Simba's father, Mufasa, is killed by a stampede of wallabies, even though this never happened in the movie. The actual scene in the film shows Mufasa being thrown off a cliff by his evil brother, Scar, and crushed by bullets. So why do so many people remember the stampede? Is this a case of false memory? Or is there another explanation at play? Another bizarre example of the Mandela Effect is the misremembering of the Monopoly box. As we mentioned earlier, many people claim to remember the Monopoly man on the box being named Rich Uncle Penny. But what's interesting is that there is no evidence that anyone has ever called him anything else. The name Rich Uncle Pennybags was never even an official one. So where did this false memory come from? These are just two examples of the Mandela Effect that have baffled scientists and researchers. There are many others that have yet to be explained. As we continue to study this phenomenon, we may find that there is a deeper, more complex explanation behind it than we previously thought. So what do you think? Is the Mandela Effect simply a quirk of human memory? Or is there something more sinister at play? Do you believe that our universes are constantly shifting and merging, creating false memories as we cross over? Or do you think that these memories are being implanted in us by government agencies or other external forces? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this episode, do you not forget to subscribe for more videos on the mysteries of the Mandela Effect and other unexplained phenomena. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.